Tonight, from Los Angeles, California, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want. This guy, he is hard to corral.
And this will be a Seahawks first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's the kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. And if you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Usually the big fella's a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on first down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of man you've got to deal with now.
20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, 46 yards. And the Seahawks march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage. Our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Once more, here's Eckler.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That is caught and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one and a Charger first. Running on first down, Eckler. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A little short, and it's a fumble, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, in a great play for that defensive unit. Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They started on the ground with Eckler, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and now that sets up 3rd and 2. Herbert. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Here's one deep for Pickens. And this is caught. Touchdown. George Pickens, 41 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Chargers offense back onto the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 7. Everyone back for quarter number 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the 3rd quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll set up to throw. Completes this one to Pickens. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 65 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give, Eckler running to the right. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that. And Charles is got his man complete. Down to the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 88 yards.
And what a letdown after a huge play. He's going to pull this in and then set sail for the end zone. And he nearly made it, too. But he's going to be tracked down just short of the goal line. So a big play there that's going to set him up with 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Walker trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run, Walker. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Ken Walker ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Seahawks have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and it is 42-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. You keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. That was a first down pickup of 8. And now it's Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Herbert. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
2nd and 4. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, good move. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And this is end zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From 8 yards out. And the Seahawks add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Yeah, they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something execute. This one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. They'll look to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Touchdown, Chargers. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Chargers are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Mevis is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw here. That's to the veteran tight end, Austin Hooper. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Tito Ogbanaya making that tackle. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. On the counter, it's Edwards. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. And they're going to speed things up here. That one looks like he'll throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's Townsend. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
The Charger drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.